What is going on YouTube? You are back with the Prez Wednesday, second workout of the week. It's my first week back after my deload week last week. If you guys watched the video I dropped on Monday, it was a full body, high volume calisthenic routine, right? We're mixing weightlifting movements for our legs, Bulgarian split squats, and then a full upper body weight routine, high volume, lot of reps and sets. Body was feeling lit off of that. Now today's day 2 of the training week. Like I said, I'm only going to train 3 days this week, right? Keep it full body each day. It's early in the morning. It's 9:20 right now, and I'm starting the day off with legs. You're going to see me starting the routine off in the yard today with legs, and I'm going to finish off later in the park with all body weight upper work again. Remember, I've been telling you this over the past couple weeks, right? As I've been getting leaner and leaner and starting to cut, the worst thing you can do is to neglect your strength training, right? You don't want your body to start stripping away muscle. You got to still send that signal for your body to be strong and to maintain as much muscle mass as possible as you strip down the fat. So I've been still doing, weighted pull-ups, just not looking for max loads or anything, right? But on legs lately, I've still been PRing pretty much almost every week on legs since I've been back in the gym hitting, my belt squats on Sundays. I haven't hit that in 2 weeks now. I traveled last week, and just a week ago, I hit a nice PR barbell squats, 245 for 8. So we built up to one top set again. I got 245 on the bar. I'm going to try to hit a 10 clip right now. It's going to be my main top set for legs right now. I'm going to be doing 2 leg movements, this and one more. You're only going to see this top set right now. Hopefully we can hit another PR. So 245 on the bar to start the day off. Let's get it. Let's go. 2 more. Let's fucking go, guys. And again, 245 for 10, all-time rep PR. Even when I was at my highest, close to 180, and I was squatting, my heaviest 1 rep max is close to like 300. I still wasn't hitting the 245s for 10. So the fact that I'm about 10 pounds lighter right now, not training legs as strictly and religiously as I was when I was focusing on pushing max load, the fact that I've been hitting PRs every Sunday with a belt squat, I've been belt squatting 380s for 10. Great translation over to building more and more leg strength for these back squat movements. Clearly shown, last 2 times I've done it, 245 for 8 was a PR back then, 2 weeks ago, and now 245 for 10, more volume, another PR. I'll do another back off set, which I won't film, but I'll see you at my second leg workout. Let's get it. All right, guys, squat work is done. You saw the top set at 245 for 10. Ended up stripping the weight all the way back down to 135 pounds and did 1 clip of 20 pause reps where I was bringing the bar all the way down to the safeties, pausing the rep, and then pressing out of the hole. I've demonstrated these before in the past in the channel. Haven't seen them in a while, but the staple that I always do on leg days, right? And I've done videos talking about how to build brute leg strength by pressing off the safeties, right? So just picture, boom, I'm unracked, right? I bring the bar all the way down so now the bar is resting on the safeties here. There's no momentum, I'm dead stopped, and then I'm pressing out of the hole just like that, right? So I got sent this hip thrust machine by a company called HVO Fitness. They reached out to me, asked me to test out a preacher curl machine, but I really didn't have any use for a preacher curl. I'm not one to really do isolated bicep movements like that. I prefer to just hit them with my regular training, or if I'm doing, I do cable curls or dumbbell curls. So I said, send me a belt squat, I'd love to test it out. Material, quality-wise, it's pretty sturdy. It's a pretty high quality metal. I'm pretty sure it's maybe 13 gauge, not 11 gauge like my rack, but 13 gauge. It's still going to support a lot of load. And this is going to be more of a budget-friendly piece of equipment, right? This is like their introductory line of piece of equipment, right? Where they do plan on upgrading into the future, where this is more geared towards beginners and for safety, right? And again, it's going to be a good isolation for the glutes. I myself find it to be a little bit disadvantageous because the machine itself, it doesn't really account for the bottom position, meaning the stretch, right? It limits the range of motion of how deep you can stretch the motion, right? So I'm gonna demonstrate some sets. I'm gonna use it, guys, where this is gonna be more concentric focused loading here. It's gonna cause less muscle damage, but you're still gonna get a muscle building stimulus, right? Because you're still gonna get that shortening aspect and a little bit of lengthening, but not as much lengthening as possible. Let me demonstrate, guys. So the way these hip thrust machines work is just like the standard commercial hip thrust machine, right? You set up, you lift it up, the safety bar comes out of the way, you drop your hips down, right? So right now at the bottom, I'm already at max stretch, right? There's no tension at the bottom anymore. Where ideally you would want to be able to stretch down as deep to here, where there's still load feeling on your hamstrings and glutes, and then squeezing up. So at the top, I still got good resistance here. But in order for me to keep the resistance, I gotta limit my range of motion, so I have to stop short of full stretch, and then lock back out. I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 on here, but then I'm not going to film all the sets. Now, I do get a good muscle stimulus at the top, right? At the squeeze position, when my body is all the way up and the muscles are flexed, you feel the stimulus, you feel the isolation in the glutes and the hamstrings. But again, most muscle damage and muscle building occurs when we can really lengthen the stretch position and keep it under load, right? So there's nothing wrong with the machine. It actually has a very small footprint. If you got a home gym and you're worried about space, I find that this is an actual pretty high quality machine that gets the job done. If you're looking, for maximal glute building benefits, you're not going to get them off this version, right? Where they do have an upgraded version coming out, which is going to have a deeper stretch. This is going to keep the movement very safe. And again, it's a small footprint, great for home gyms. And if you just want to start to learn how to connect to your glutes and learn the movement, this is a great option to start out with, guys. So check out HBO Fitness. I'll have a link in the description with a discount code you guys can check out if you're interested. If not, like I said, I'm going to do 2 more sets of this right now, and I'll see you at the park for the rest of the upper body work. Alright guys, like I said, we finished up lower body work earlier in the day, around 9:45 this morning, right? It's now 11:45, so 2 hours later since I finished up the lower body work. And like I said, we're gonna finish up the rest of the upper body routine out here in the park today. Monday's workout was very push and pull dominant for chest and back. Today we're gonna focus a little bit more on shoulder work and less chest work, right? Friday's routine will have a little bit more volume geared towards chest again, right? But again, in order to continuously make progress in the handstand push-ups and everything and the overhead pressing, you really can't combine them with too much dipping or pressing motions like that, right? You got to kind of pick and choose what you're going to do on that day. So today, like I said, it's going to be a little bit more shoulder focused, but again, full upper body work to finish off the routine. Let's get it. All right, guys, so we're going to start the routine off with some press ups. You guys saw me doing them when I was down in Georgia this weekend. And it was the first time I actually was really working on pressing up again on P-bars in a long time. All last summer I pretty much neglected, or even I don't even think I could do handstand press-ups on the bars last summer. The shoulder was too injured, I was just too inflamed, just too much body fat on me. I'm not saying I'm going to get them today, but that's what we're going to start the routine off with, right? And then we're going to be doing some regressions to add volume for shoulders to start it off. So let's get to it. Like I said, that's probably the first, well, I did one warm-up set before I filmed. That's the second attempt on these bars in a long time. If I don't even get the press up today, I don't care. As long as I can start getting the bent arm holds, I'll start getting that pressing strength back really quick. Probably end up hitting like 5 to 8 total sets of handstand work before we get in some regressions. Let's go. All right, so I can tell right now what the problem is. And that's the biggest problem I see when people are trying to do press-ups. And right now I just have to build up more strength to get through it. Is when you're going into the bent arm, but to press out of the hold initially, if you drop too low, so for instance, when I'm rotating over, my arms are dropping past 90. In order to be strong in a press-up, you gotta let the arms stay less bent. The more they bend and the deeper you press, initially that first rep is going to be that much harder. So it's the best way to do it is when you start to rotate, you want to keep the arms at a slight angle, not letting the shoulders dip, so you have less of a press up for that first rep, right? That lockout is going to be a lot easier in that sense. But again, that's all going to come with getting stronger in the range of motion. Like I said, I haven't done a press up like this in a while. The one that I was doing in Georgia, the bars were a lot lower, right? It was easier for me to kick up and pass that. Here I have to use more core to rotate my body up, less momentum with the legs. So a few more attempts here before we start to regress. All right, guys, and you're gonna see here, this is one of my clients, Jasmine. She's been working with me for a few years now. She pretty much focuses mainly calisthenics with a little bit of hybrid training. She's also a personal trainer also, and we've learned handstands in the past. She hasn't pretty much trained them in a while. So I ran into her in the park today, and she saw me doing shoulders. She was like, let me just jump in with you, practice her handstands. So here I'm spotting her, and she ends up finishing off the rest of the routine with me for the day, guys. So you'll see her in a few clips here also. All right, so I did 3 sets of the attempted press-ups on the P-bars. Now I'm going to teach you guys a regression that will help build up your press-up strength. Right now we're going to utilize some momentum to help get you from the bent arm position to a full lockout handstand. Now, you guys can do these on the wall to start. You don't have to do them freestanding. I'm going to demonstrate them freestanding for the first round right here. So again, you want to use momentum on this. So get down, crunch. Like I said, I have some fatigue built up from the 3 iso holds right there. So I'm gonna go back, the next set that I do this, I'm gonna do it on the wall, get a little more volume, not have to worry about balance, and then we're gonna move to another shoulder focused exercise to really work on building some pressing strength. All right, so another set of these momentum press ups against the wall now. You're gonna see I end up catching a lot more volume. I gave myself a little bit of a break, and you're gonna see exactly what I was saying about when I was doing the P-bar press ups. Watch my arm angle every press up here. My shoulders never drop below 90, right? So this is a way to train the body and the shoulders to be strong in that position. So when you go for those strict press-ups, you're less inclined to drop below 90 in the pressing position. It does, that's a fact. All right, like I said, after we went through the main pressing work, we were gonna still throw more regressions in for volume, right? So here, deep pike handstand push-ups or deep pike shoulder presses, whatever you want to call them. You have my hands elevated here, allowing my shoulders and my head to get through a deeper range of motion. So most of the stress on this movement is at the bottom portion, right? When you're coming to lockout, it gets easier and easier, but you could really stress and overload those shoulders by going deep. And you're going to see this angle, it mimics a freestanding handstand, right? Because the freestanding handstand is not completely up and down. You get that slightly vertical or horizontal lean for that matter, or diagonal lean for that matter. So that's the exact movement pattern that we're mimicking here in these assisted pike pushes here. Perfect, guys. Money. Clean. There you go. 3, get the depth. Let's go. There. 4, perfect. 5, clean, strong. Let's go. 6, let's go. 1 more. Push back, don't push up. Let's go. Last one, best one. Solid. And then on my 3rd set here, I try to start lifting my feet, right, to overload the bottom even more. You can see I lift my feet up. That places more stress on the delts, right? Again, remember, lockout is very easy. There's really no stress at the top. So I'm trying to overload the bottom, right? That's going to keep my shoulder from being really strong from when I'm trying to press up from, again, an above 90 position. Because here we're getting a press up from way below 90, loaded with your feet up in the air. So 3 sets of these pike presses. I think I did 8 to 10 reps each set. And this was just, again, to blow the shoulders up, get a lot more volume. And after this, I'm telling you, my shoulders were super lit. But again, it's a full body routine, more to come. All right, guys, handstand work, shoulder work is done. Moving on to some pull. Like I said, it's going to be very little chest work. All the handstand presses, they're going to be engaging the upper chest and a little bit of chest regardless, right? A lot of delt work, but we got a lot of chest work done on Monday, and we get more done on Friday. So 40 pounds. Just on my deload week last week, I was hitting this for 2 sets of 8. I'd like to hit 3 sets of 10 today with the 40 clean reps. Very happy with that set. 2 more to go. All right, you go. Finish you up quick right now. You have work today?
No, I have to take my hands off. I have to take him off.
So first with the band foot. Yeah, get that stable in that time. Don't waste anything. Money. Money. 3, 4, come on. 5, 6 straight, don't stop. 6, good, hang. Big breath, pull. 7, easy, we got 1 more. Up. Solid. All right, guys, 3rd set. All right, guys, very happy with that. 3 sets of 10 with the 40 done. Again, if I'm keeping the routine set as we're going to be doing week to week with the weighted pulls in there every Wednesday or at least once a week, next week I'll go up to 45 pounds. And again, I'll start either 3 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 8, building up to 3 sets of 10. Once I hit the 3 sets of 10 with a weight, I'll go up 5 pounds, but I won't jump up a weight until I can master the 3 sets of 10. A lot better, a lot more hypertrophy focused work right now. So we got more upper work to finish off the routine with. Let's get it. All right, guys, pull work is done. Like I said, it was more of a leg and shoulder focused full body routine. But again, it's still full body. We hit our pull work and we're gonna hit some chest work right now. There's more horizontal pushing. We're gonna do our explosive plyo work. I'm really trying to get better at the plyo pushes, right? So different variation of what you saw Monday, but something that you saw when I was down in Georgia, right? So we're gonna finish off with 50 total repetitions. All right, 20 in. I'm just gonna get to 30 more whenever I'm ready. Alright guys, that is a wrap for the routine. I told you, just finishing off with 50 of those plyo push-ups. They're going to target a lot of the chest. Again, I told you the benefit of plyometric work, those explosive repetitions, they're going to engage those type 2 fibers. The type 2 fibers are the most responsible for muscle growth, force production, and motor unit recruitment, right? That teaches your body how to be powerful and fast on demand. So, decent volume leg work, pretty high volume shoulder work today, and then we hit our nice weighted pull, nice little recent PR, progressive overload from the previous week, and then working on some, again, our plyometric skill work to round out the routine. Full body training. Tomorrow will be a rest day. Friday we'll finish off the week with another full body routine, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying the content lately. You have a question or comment, you already know, guys, leave it in the comment section. I'll always get back to you guys. Like the video, it helps the algorithm out, you already know. And I appreciate all the support, guys. Check out that link for the hip thrust machine in the description if you're interested in getting yourself one. And like always, I appreciate all the support. Peace out. Barnatural.
No sad story, I ain't here for a symphony, no sympathy. When I was on the bench, you wouldn't sit with me. Now I'm on the court and I'm balling, my time's coming.